Thylacoleo fertimorsus is a large, powerful marsupial that can often be found hunting around the trees among the island's redwoods. Its long claws and semi-opposable digits make it an apt climber, a quality that Thylacoleo uses to its advantage while hunting. It clambers up large trees and waits to ambush passing prey by pouncing upon them. When something that large jumps onto a target, the victim becomes stunned and doesn't stand much of a chance. Thylacoleo's most notable fighting quality is its powerful jaws. Once it bites its prey, it locks its jaw in an iron grip that can hold most smaller creatures in place. Thylacoleo then goes on to savage its prey with its sharp claws. If it needs to escape from a fight, Thylacoleo uses its muscular hind legs to jump back to safety among the trees. Thylacoleo is a moderately strong mount, and its ability to climb trees and jump long distances makes it useful for traversing. As such, developing tribes often tame it. Small raiding parties particularly favour Thylacoleo, as it is well suited to ambushes and unfair fights. Dimorphodon equiseca is another of the island's Jekyll and Hyde creatures. It is normally passive, sometimes even friendly. When provoked, it becomes very aggressive. Against larger creatures, it has no business fighting, often to its own fatal end. Dimorphodon can make short work of smaller opponents due to its large but lightweight skull and teeth. Barely over a metre tall, Dimorphodon should be low, but its incredible speed and surprisingly strong bite make it fairly dangerous, especially en masse, as they tend to attack in groups. A flock of angry or hungry Dimorphodon can take down prey several times their size, so survivors should take care not to hunt near where a flock is gathered. Dimorphodon is one of the creatures on the island that is easily domesticated for companionship, but its use in combat is also quite clear. It will hunt in large groups to seek out enemy dino riders directly, harassing them to no end, regardless of the might of their mount. Castaroides is a large mammalian herbivore that tends to live near water. Unlike other larger beaver species, this one retains the chisel-shaped teeth of modern beavers. As is typical for beavers, they build dams as habitats, but the larger creatures on the island have a tendency to trample them. As a result, finding unsullied dams in the wild is quite rare. Castaroides itself doesn't seem to realise how dangerous the island is. I don't know if it's simply too dumb to notice the dangers, or if it just doesn't care, but Castaroides happily goes about its day, playing in the water and gnawing on wood. The value of a tamed Castaroides is obvious from its physiology. The creature naturally gathers wood extremely efficiently, far more than most species on the island. It's not the strongest creature, so it can only carry limited amounts, but it is a natural lumberjack.
Greetings and salutations, dear reader. If these words are gracing your eyes, then you have had the good fortune to find the journal of Sir Edmund Rockwell, stupendous scholar, gallant gentleman, and explorer extraordinaire. It also means that it's entirely possible that I've met some unseemly end on this fascinating but exceedingly dangerous island that I call home. I suppose you could have also stolen it, or I could have misplaced it, in which case, please proceed to either hang your head in shame or return it to me at once, whichever is appropriate. Regards, Sir Edmund Rockwell.
Found along the island's many inland waterways, Lutra peloso have become exceptionally adept at hunting and foraging. This species of otter has to be particularly cunning because of its diminutive size and fierce competition for its preferred food source, fish. It is not a creature that excels at combat and would not naturally pose as an intimidating threat to any predators. Finding packs of river otters is simple enough. They are distinguished by their elongated bodies, bushy tails, and webbed feet. Their trusting and inquisitive nature ensures they are often hunted for their lustrous fur, but many prefer to tame them to become trusted companions. There are few creatures which provide the companionship that Lutra peloso does. Rather than travelling beside you, it would prefer to comfortably rest on your back. It can be told to harvest fish on a mound, with a specific fish that consumes. Otter has a knack for foraging silly pearls, and can even yield a slight chance at finding black pearls within. the abnormalities that I've observed, the tamed megalodons stick out to me. It was almost like they were stray dogs who were re-socialized, as though they had a genetic history of human obedience. Most of my observations have been in the wild, but I think I may learn a thing or two if I observe domesticated creatures more closely. I need to study their diets, their mating patterns, how they socialize with other species, all that. Rumour has it that there's some woman that's tamed a whole mess of them, all by herself. So many that they call her the Beast Queen of the Jungle. Maybe she'll have some useful insights. Found along the island's many inland waterways, Lutra peloso have become exceptionally adept at hunting and foraging. This species of otter has to be particularly cunning because of its diminutive size and fierce competition for its preferred food source, fish. It is not a creature that excels at combat and would not naturally pose as an intimidating threat to any predators. Finding packs of river otters is simple enough. They are distinguished by their elongated bodies, bushy tails, and webbed feet. Their trusting and inquisitive nature ensures they are often hunted for their lustrous fur, but many prefer to tame them to become trusted companions. There are few creatures which provide the companionship that Lutra peloso does. Rather than travelling beside you, it would prefer to comfortably rest on your back, providing insulation. Once domesticated, it can be told to harvest fish on demand, with a specific goal in mind from the fish that it consumes. The otter has a knack for foraging silica pearls, and can even yield a slight chance at finding black pearls within. When someone asks me what the fastest creatures on the island are, Gallimimus is always the Unlike the island's many armored animals, Gallimimus eschews strong defenses for the ability to outrun pretty much anything. A skittish herbivore, Gallimimus even looks nervous when eating in a peaceful, clear meadow. Having no real way to harm predators, it simply runs away and uses its agility to stay safe. I've even seen wild Gallimimus outrun speed-trained Utah raptors. There are two general camps on the use of tamed Gallimimus. One camp thinks that their inability to effectively harm hostile creatures and their inability to harvest most resources makes them primarily a burden to the tribe. The other camp thinks that their extreme speed and ability to jump long distances is among the best for scouting and exploring. However, both camps agree that its ability to quickly transport multiple tribe members is uniquely beneficial. Dunkleosteus loricorruptor is a very strange creature. It is a fairly large fish, covered head to tail in armoured plates, with incredibly powerful jaws. It tends to eat the island's water-dwelling crustaceans trawling the seabed, as it is not fast enough to catch most of the smaller fish. Dunkleosteus is surprisingly combat-oriented for a fish. Its well-armoured body protects it from many creatures, while its bite is strong enough to easily crush through chitinous shells. Dunkleosteus is an incredibly useful fish for coastal communities. Its powerful jaws make short work of the stone and oil formations found throughout the oceanic depths. While harvesting, Dunkleosteus can defend a tribe from all but the largest threats in the waters, and once it is past its prime, the Dunkleosteus itself can be harvested for a fair amount of chitin. Found only in the deepest depths of the waters around the island, Eurypterids are dangerous and adaptable arthropods. As likely to hunt as they are to scavenge, a Eurypterid rarely has difficulty finding food to keep itself nourished, even at the bottom of the ocean. A Eurypterid's threat comes not directly from its raw strength. Instead, it combines a hard defensive exoskeleton with debilitating poison to powerful effect. The sting of a Eurypterid increases torpor while reducing stamina, quickly rendering its opponent unable to defend itself. While Eurypterids are not intelligent enough to be tamed, this doesn't mean they are without utility to tribes. They are a wonderful source of chitin, and their digestive tract often contains silicate pearls. They sometimes even have ingested incredibly rare black pearls, used by survivors for advanced manufacturing, making them among the most valuable creatures on the island. One of the smallest predators on the island, Compsognathus curiosicaris, can be seen as a pet, a pest, or a threat. While alone, Compsognathus is not dangerous or aggressive. In larger packs, however, it remembers its underlying carnivorous nature. After a group of Compsognathus grows to a certain size, their pack mentality always seems to embolden them to attack. For some reason, Compsognathus is not naturally afraid of humans. Rather, it seems to be quite curious about humans and their instruments of survival. They tend to be drawn towards humans out of this curiosity, and then call their packmates to help explore and discover. This usually leads to aforementioned pack aggression, with dangerous results. Compsognathus gain increasingly significant power and speed when in close proximity to other Compsognathus, as their pack aggression takes over. Additionally, their distress call carries quite far, rapidly alerting the tribe and its pets to danger more efficiently, and increasing the likelihood of forming a so-called compy gang. Coelacanth nutritia is one of the few creatures on the island with a relative which can be found back home. The coelacanth thrive in the waters around the island, as well as within rivers and lakes. Unlike most coelacanths, coelacanth nutritia meat contains less oil and urea. In fact, it is one of the healthier sources of meat I've yet found. Most coelacanths are opportunistic feeders that eat anything small in itself, likely including baby water snakes, insect and plant life, and perhaps each other. While their limited intelligence makes them unsuitable for taming, coelacanths provide a viable source of meat for coastal or water-dwelling tribes. Many a day has been spent fishing by the water's edge, often with surprising results, as coelacanths often have consumed discarded garbage that is sometimes of great value. Due to their small size, though, a larger tribe will require a significant number of coelacanths to feed itself. painted sharks have treated me like I'm the bloody queen since I showed them Rockwell's letter of recommendation. I don't think I've eaten better in my entire time on the island. Not that it's a high bar. I'm a horrible cook. Oh, and they've been of tremendous help with my research, of course. So far, my estimates of the predator-prey balance are consistent with the ecosystems on the mainland. The water is simply teeming with shoals of mangroves, and they are extremely aggressive. Perhaps that's a side effect of having... Sharks aren't known as territorial creatures. I'll have to study them further.
Eureka! My theory was correct. The small podium at the base of the obelisk is definitely responding to the artifact's proximity and vice versa. Honestly, I feel foolish for not attempting this sooner. The stylistic similarities between the artifacts and the obelisks floating above the island seem so obvious to me now. Clearly, they were created within the same culture and era. Bizarrely, while both the artifact and obelisks are in exquisite condition, there are no other signs of this mysterious civilization. How could that be? What kind of mad society would gallivant about some remote island, building towering structures and stuffing knickknacks into caves before vanishing without a trace? I don't understand it, but it certainly piqued my curiosity.
Meganeura quadpenna is an especially large species of dragonfly. Actually, it is a type of griffinfly, an extinct species of invertebrate that looked similar to dragonflies. Like most griffinflies, Meganeura is carnivorous, but it is typically not aggressive towards humans, unless provoked or challenged for food. It lives primarily in the wetter, heavier, wooded areas, such as the jungles. Meganeura is a natural predator of most of the smaller insects on the island. Though not often aggressive, Meganeura will not turn down a free meal. They quickly appear in large numbers to scavenge off the victims of Pulmonoscorpius, rendered unconscious and unable to defend themselves. Of course, the insects do have to avoid the Pulmonoscorpius itself. I have noticed it is unwise to disturb a flock of feeding Meganeura. The size of the insects on the island confounds me. The way these creatures diffuse oxygen should limit their size, but Meganeura and other bugs seem to be able to advance beyond this restraint. If there is more oxygen in the air, this could explain Meganeura's growth.